Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for October 2025. We're going to jump right in here. You have this card that says dream the world into being, and also this card that says life is speeding up. Yes. So what's really interesting about this set of readings is that like everybody has had the Eight of Wands. And so I literally just said to Aquarius that it's like this month might be a blur for some people because it just seems like one of those fast months, right? Where things are moving quickly. You could be making a lot of moves. It definitely seems to be in the collective is what I would say as well, Gemini. So you might notice like people around you are moving faster, doing things faster, wanting your attention more faster, all that stuff. So we should be paying attention for sure. And, I think, it also makes me think of things like doing grounding exercises and things like that. So it might be a good month to, ground yourself, take extra time to ground yourself and, all those other great things because, again, it seems to be like a very quick month. Now, I kind of feel like it's a good thing as well. It's like, and the other thing I wanted to point out was that, we have Pluto going direct this month. Pluto's been retrograde since like May. And Pluto direct Pluto direct is kind of like looking at things under a microscope. It wants us to go deep on things, which is kind of slow when you think about it. It's like Pluto wants us to get to the bottom of whatever in our lives, and which takes time, right? So with Pluto going direct, I'm like, part of me wonders if that's why there's all this like speed coming up in the readings is because Pluto's going direct. In your first row for your current general energies, you have the Two of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, and the Five of Swords. This kind of gives me the feelings of like, if you don't make a decision, the universe is going to make it for you type of energy here, Gemini. Now, is this a bad thing? I would say no. Now, normally, the Tower is the card in the tarot for me as a reader that kind of gives me that feeling, of like, if you don't make a choice, I'm going to make it for you type of deal with the universe. I kind of get that feeling, but it's much nicer. It's like, if you've been stuck, if you've been juggling, if you've been going back and forth between like multiple ideas or multiple people or multiple things in your life, it's almost like the universe is like, well, okay, if Gemini doesn't choose, I'll just do it for him. And but it looks like you're ultimately going to be happy. You have the Ten of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands. You have really good cards here. So I don't feel that you're going to be disappointed if that happens. But I also do feel that you are being given the option to choose, right? So if you're trying to make a decision, it might be time to choose is basically what I'm saying with this Two of Pentacles. Also with that Life is Speeding Up card, the Two of Pentacles can just represent plain old busyness and being busy in life. So a lot of you might find that you're in a very busy time, or you might be feeling more like you are more busy, which is probably true. Gemini, could be a busy month. You have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction, holding yourself back. Eight of Swords kind of comes up when we are only seeing one way of doing things when there are many ways of doing things. So we just have to be flexible with the Eight of Swords, and we have to, kind of look at all the different ways there are to accomplish our goals. And that's basically what I would do with the Eight of Swords, is I would open up to other ways of doing things. Could be a little tricky for you with Uranus retrograde in your sign. As I've said to you many times before, I think Uranus and Gemini is going to be really good for you. Uranus loves Gemini. So, I think you'll be perfectly fine. But when it's retrograde, it can definitely make it maybe a little bit harder to see like all the different perspectives you need to see to make something happen in your life. Like if you want love, for example, it could be hard to see that it's possible. If you want business or money or success, it's like the same thing. It could make it's like maybe, I think Geminis do well when they have variety. They have a lot of different ideas to pull from that they mix together and create something genius out of it, right? And so if you don't have that, it could make it a little bit of a challenge. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. I think you'll be fine, but there you go. You have the Five of Swords. I've been blaming Saturn in Aries for this energy. Saturn's in Pisces right now, retrograde. It won't be back in Aries until February, but it doesn't matter. It's already entered into Aries once. And, the thing about the Five of Swords is it can represent needing to take a risk. You go up to the Hermit. You also have the Three of Wands right next to it. Kind of interesting because the Hermit is about needing to shine your inner light. Three of Wands is about needing to expand. Saturn in Aries is about needing to be loud, needing to, speak your mind, needing to share your ideas, needing to take the risk of sharing your ideas, all those things, right? And so it's like to be successful, maybe we do need to be louder, in the world. And that can be a challenge. So I kind of feel that is what this Five of Swords is saying for you, Gemini, that there could be a little bit of a challenge in you speaking up, but you know that now. So I would speak up in all areas of your life. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the King of Cups. This would be an emotional pull. Two of Pentacles with the King of Cups would say that emotionally, you might be feeling pulled between two ideas, two people, two places, two things. It might be a bunch of those things for you here, Gemini. The thing with the King of Cups is that we have to explore our emotions. We have to see how we feel about things. And it's funny that you end with the Ace of Cups, because the Ace of Cups can fulfill itself. It can reach down into the water below it and fill itself back up. If you are like trying to choose between two jobs or two ideas or two whatever, I would say which one actually fulfills you. And here's the trick. You might be saying to yourself, oh, that's easy. Of course that's what I should pick. But really it isn't easy, because if you have like a job that pays you $100,000 a year and one that pays you $50,000 a year, it's like maybe the one that pays you less is the one that's actually fulfilling, right? That is the challenge that a lot of us are faced with nowadays, is we might be having to choose between two things. One might make logical sense. The other one makes heart sense. It's like, which are you going to choose, right? And again, the secret to the time right now is what you don't know is that you'll actually make more money doing the thing that might make you less money right now. So, that's what we have to realize with like this type of energy right here, is that in the long run, it'll be more worth it. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Four of Swords. Yeah, it's an amazing time for healing. Kind of boring because, we had that eclipse in Virgo. The eclipse in Virgo is all about healing. We have a bunch of retrogrades at the end of the year again. We have Pluto's still retrograde right now, Neptune, Saturn, Uranus. Mercury will go retrograde in November. So, with all the retrograde energy for the next 3 months, I would say, it would be a good time for you to rest, relax, recover, heal. If you need a break, take a break, right? We only get in trouble with retrogrades, really, when we don't listen, when we don't listen to our body, when we don't listen to ourselves. So, that's what the Four of Swords is saying. With the Five of Swords, you have the Wheel of Fortune here. I just want to see, the Wheel of Fortune can be a change in your fortunes, of course, and luck. And I do feel that, really to get lucky with that Five of Swords, you're going to have to speak up, speak out, make changes, of course, with the Wheel of Fortune. All that would probably be very good for you. Wheel of Fortune is my card of doubling down on the good stuff in life and doing more of it. So, doubling down on your wins could also be good for you with that card. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Light and Space card. It says Enlightenment, Purity, Insight, and Life. You have this Solutions card. It says Insights, again, in creativity and problem solving, which is great. You could be overcoming some sort of obstacle or finding a solution to the Five of Swords or the Eight of Swords together, really, and wherever you've been held back. October, again, this has been a theme for other people. So, this could be a really good month to look at your obstacles on purpose, right? It's like sometimes I think we hide from our challenges, but, obviously it would be a good month for you to not hide from your challenges, to look at them, face them head on, and come up with a solution, because clearly there is a solution that is trying to come out. And I would just really pay attention to it. But I don't know. I wouldn't even worry about it. You have that card says enlightenment on it. It's like you're being enlightened to the problem and how to fix it. You have the Ace of Wands, the Hermit, and the Three of Wands. Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. So Ace of Wands is a great card for starting anything new. And, I do think it is a good time to start something new. This is kind of like our last chance, really. And I don't say that to be scary or anything like that, but Neptune and Pisces in the middle of the month, I've been telling everyone, Neptune and Pisces is the big impossible dream. And if there was ever a time where we could accomplish our impossible dream, whatever it is, it would be right now. So I basically say this to everyone, that we need to get inspired. We need to put the work in. Again, it is a blessing that, it is crazy that we get to be born at a time when Neptune and Saturn are transiting Pisces at almost exactly the same time. They both are going to retrograde into Pisces at almost exactly the same time. They both moved into Aries at exactly the same time, basically. They're going to retrograde, they're both retrograding out at the same time, and they're both going to go direct and move back in within a month. So both directions within a month of each other. Again, it's like I don't think people realize how lucky that is, because that Saturn energy is the trick that Neptune needs to manifest your impossible dream. So it's like now is the time to like really follow your inspirations and try to build something amazing in your life, whatever it is. And the beautiful thing is that I tell everyone is you can start super freaking small. It's like if you want to write a book, you literally just agree to put a sentence on a page every single day until the end of the year, right? You're getting it started, you're getting the energy moving in that direction. And if you do that, by the time we get to like March of next year, you'll be off to the races if you stick with it, right? So you just have to stick with something for a short period of time. You have the Hermit. The Hermit is about needing to shine that inner light. Again, a lot of Hermit energy right now. We do have strong, we have that eclipse, South Node's in Virgo. So, part of me sometimes feels right now that when the Hermit shows up, it's basically saying, don't try to be perfect. The South Node in Virgo, down and dirty, Chris's crappy astrology here. South Node in Virgo, it makes us want things to be perfect when they're not. And so we just have to get started anyway. And that's more of the energy that I feel for you here. The other thing is that we go up to the 10 of Cups. So this would encourage you to socialize, right? The Hermit wants to be in Hermit mode. 10 of Cups wants you to get out into your community or socialize. Doesn't matter if you're looking for love, fun, friends, whatever. It's just a good energy for doing that. So I would get out of Hermit mode here, Gemini. You have the Three of Wands. Well, like I said, I think it's time for you to be loud, Gemini, especially you with, Uranus in your sign. Yeah, it's going to retrograde out in November, but again, doesn't matter. It's already entered into your sign. And so I think that it's time for Gemini to share their wacky ideas, their crazy ideas. And you don't even have to share these ideas by saying anything. You can share these ideas by doing them, right? By actually doing what you are thinking about in the world. And that's how you're going to expand. You and Sagittarius, your opposite sign, always get this card, or the Seven of Cups. You have the Three of Wands here. And you also have the Two of Wands. Both cards kind of represent going places you've never been before. And I do feel, like I said, I think Gemini does really well when they have multiple experiences to draw from. And that's what gives you your superpower. And if I were a Gemini, and I basically am, because I'm a Gemini moon, right? I would be experiencing things. I know that's not very helpful advice, but like whatever you do in life, whatever you want to do, I would go learn about it. I would go do it, because those experiences are going to give you like the puzzle pieces to create your masterpiece, right? To make this clickbaity. There you go. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Two of Swords. So needing to realize that things are going to work is basically what's popping into my head. Ace of Wands could be the crazy inspiration. Two of Swords is like, nope, that can't work in this world. But again, that is the logical side of the perspective. I think adding in the intuitive, emotional side will help you realize that something is actually going to work in your life, like probably an idea that you have that will bring you fulfillment, even if right now it seems like it's not going to work, right? And so I feel like that's what you need to realize. With the Hermit, you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is like being too hasty and making, kind of rushing decisions. And so I think I said at the beginning of the reading that grounding might be a good thing for you to do. I haven't said that to anyone else. So, that only came up for you, and I do feel that's going to be important. Like if you notice you're getting ahead of yourself or things are going too quick, it might be a good time to do like a grounding exercise. There's a million of them on YouTube that you go look up. It might be a good time to just take a pause, right? Slow things down. And there's really no rush as long as you get started. And I just wouldn't rush with this card. With the Three of Wands, you have the Three of Wands. So basically the universe saying I meant what I said. Definitely a good time to expand, put yourself out there, scream from the highest mountaintops, right, Gemini? Tell the world what you do by doing it. And if you do that, then you will probably expand. You will probably experience more, abundance, attention, more good energy. But, those are the activities you're going to have to do. And again, also going and having different experiences, experiencing variety is going to be a little bit of a superpower. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this listen card and this love from the creator card. Yeah, I think it would be a good time for you to listen as well. Like typical Gemini energy, right? I think it's like 50-50. 50% of the time I think you should be doing and taking action. And then, like I said, there might be those moments where you have to ground yourself, meditate, listen, download information. You are, downloading information is your superpower as well with Uranus and Gemini. It, like I've said to you a million times, it is electric ideas, but you have to like create a space to get those ideas to hit you in the top of the head, right? And so I think as long as you're creating balance between action and then also taking time to just be a Gemini, think, brainstorm, go for a freaking walk, I don't care. Whatever it is, I would do it. You have the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and the Hermit. Again, this is messages from your future self. Ten of Cups, you could be getting a lot of benefits from socializing, and so with the Hermit, I would definitely make time to socialize as well. I always say that, for like 4.5 years of my life, I was stuck doing nothing. I wouldn't even socialize, and it's like it wasn't until the first thing I started doing was walking, and then I started socializing. And again, I think sometimes we punish ourselves, like if we're not making money or something else, and so we don't socialize. But it wasn't until I did that I got ideas that changed my life, right? So it's like sometimes I think when we socialize, we get out of our head, we stop thinking, and that's where the success comes from. So, that's really what I feel with the Ten of Cups for sure. And that's what I'd pay attention to. Also, could be love. You do have a little bit of love here, and you've been getting love with me. You have the Ace of Cups and Two of Cups. So if you want love, definitely it is available to you. You have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is kind of like carrying a heavy burden. Ten of Wands says you have to work your way to this home in the background. But the Ten of Wands, I personally think, is a good card because he is very close to accomplishing his goal. And a lot of you, it's like, yeah, maybe you've been carrying these burdens, but I do feel you are about to have a harvest. Those 10 wands are his harvest. He is about to get a result for the work that he has done. And so I would, I do feel your future self is kind of encouraging you to keep going on whatever it is that you're working on or whatever it is that you create. You have the Hierophant. The Hierophant can be blessings. I do feel pretty good about this for you here, Gemini. I don't really like the Hierophant right now for a couple of reasons. We are kind of in a safety zone time where I think people could be a little bit too much inside the box. And the Hierophant wants us to sometimes think outside the box. But you are a Gemini. You are an outside the box thinker. So I'm not too worried about it. And I do feel that you have the Ten of Cups, which is also blessings. You have the Wheel of Fortune, which can be like blessings returning to your life. So I just feel like you're kind of being blessed by the universe. You even have that Desert Spirit says, love from the Creator, right? The Hierophant, he communicates between heaven and earth. He is the bridge between the two places. So, again, I think a lot of you actually are getting blessings. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Page of Swords. I feel like you have your eye on a person. Didn't I say this to you last week? What is today? The 27th. So maybe for the week of September 29th, I think. I'm pretty sure in that reading that I said you have your eye on a person. It could be the other way around, whatever. Take it how it resonates. But I definitely feel you've caught someone's attention or vice versa. So if you want love, that could be the person you will have love with. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is like disappointment. He has tried to manifest something 3 times before, and he's afraid of accepting a new cup because he's afraid he's going to be disappointed. But he needs to realize that he has learned from these 3 cups, and he just has to apply what he learned to this new cup. And what do you know? You have the Ace of Cups right here. It's like you are, getting a solid offer. It doesn't even have to be in love, Gemini. It could just be something that causes your emotions to overflow. It could be something that makes you very happy. With the Hierophant, you have the Three of Cups. This is good because the Hierophant is belief systems. Three of Cups would say that you are surrounding yourself with people who support your beliefs or who, kind of lift you up in some sort of way. So again, I think community is clearly very important this month for you. And, spending time with those concentrated connections. I always say, Three of Cups might mean that you're socializing with less people, but usually these are those like really important concentrated connections that you're surrounding yourself with the Three of Cups. So that is usually a good thing. Three of Cups is also celebrating a harvest. And with the Ten of Wands, to me, when I see stuff like this, it's like a finish line reading. Really, to say that, I would need to see the Four of Wands, but the Four of Wands is marriage, but it's a finish line card. And but it seems to me like you are like very freaking close to a finish line here with the Ten of Wands and the Three of Cups. Next, in the good stuff, you have this changes card and this take a risk card. Yes, we said it with the Five of Swords, I think, that it would be a good time for you to take a risk. Yeah, we are in change cards, again, are kind of boring to me right now because, yes, I mean, there's never been a time like this in history. It'll be hundreds of years before, like, we have all these major planets switching signs at exactly the same time. We basically had Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, Uranus, Jupiter, basically all very close together switching signs. And, especially Pluto, but, when all these major planets switch signs, there's going to be change. And not only that, think about the signs that these planets have switched into. Aquarius, Gemini. These are kind of like innovative, rebellious planets, right? Or signs. And so, we are in a significant time of change. You have the Ace of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Two of Cups. Obviously could be a love connection coming in for you. I feel that there would be a lot of happiness here. It just seems to me, I don't know, I kind of feel like some of you are attracting something that just flows, that has a nice flow to it, which is good. So I like to see that. And I also feel that you on a personal level should be focusing on doing more in your life that fulfills you. Again, I think sometimes people get distracted by the love thing with the Ace of Cups. Really, Ace of Cups is a card of fulfillment, doing the things that you can do endlessly and doing more of those things in your life, right? You have the Two of Wands. Again, variety. I do like that it's coming up in the good stuff. He needs to leave a comfort zone. And so when it comes up in the good stuff, it's probably saying that you are taking the lead and putting yourself in a position where you get out into the world and you, again, give yourself those puzzle pieces that will create your next masterpiece, right? And maybe saying like ingredients would be a better word, because it's not really like you're putting together a puzzle. It's more like you're, baking a cake here, Gemini, and that's exactly what I would focus on with the Two of Wands. You have the Two of Cups. Yeah, definitely could be someone different than your usual type, which always comes up for you. Two of Cups, these two people are meant to be very different. They kind of come from two different worlds. So you could be just attracting a different type of person, right? And Two of Cups, usually there's good communication. This could be something that starts with communication as well. Here you go. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Knight of Cups. Yes, definitely a knight in shining armor. Could be a water sign. I'm pretty sure last week you had a water sign showing up. Could be any sign. They could just come off as like dreamy. They could come off as having very stable emotions. Again, if we have a positive King of Cups, it's usually a person who's stable, not a person who's a nut. So again, this could be a very stable person, which is good, Gemini. With the Two of Wands, you have the Fool. Yes, good, because you are taking a leap of faith. He has to take a leap of faith out of this castle that he is standing at the top of. He has to get out into the world. The Fool would basically say, you are. With the Two of Cups, here you go. You have the Death card. I knew it was going to come up. You have that change card, and I was saying these change cards are boring. There you go. Definitely experiencing a change in your life, which I think you're fine with just in general. So, whatever. But that's all I have to say about the Death card. You have this chain card. It says chain of events that will affect your life. Four Cups. Four Cups, can be challenging. We can fear disappointment, but we can also see we can connect the dots, right? He has those 3 cups in front of him that say you learned this, this, and this. All you have to do is mix that together and apply it to this new situation. So I feel that Gemini could be connecting the dots in October and really making some progress here. You have this caterpillar. It says things will not always be this way. A change is coming. Yes. Are you kidding me? Yes, definitely a big change. I feel like you're really going to enjoy this month, October, for sure. This to me, I wasn't sure how October would go. I will say that it has been better than I thought it would be. Let's say that. We are in a very uncertain time. So, I never really know how things are going to go right now. But, I think you're really going to enjoy it. You have the Scissors card. It says disappointment in some affair. 4 Cups. Like I said, yes, there are many things that haven't worked out in your past. But we're in the future. Or you need to focus on new things is what this is saying. You have this leg. It says stepping into new experiences. I was like a freaking parrot this reading. This is basically all I said the entire time. So, again, I think that you need to go get that variety. You need to go find those missing puzzle pieces. You need to go have those inspirations because, that's going to be your superpower, right? It's like you're like a little explorer, Dora the Explorer, a Gemini, right? And you need to go explore the world to get the pieces. You have this cup card. It says you should accept valid criticism. Sure. I don't know. I never know what to say with this card, Gemini, because it's like, okay, yes, great. Who's going to criticize you, Gemini? No one, right? But love it. Looks pretty good. So thank you for being here. I forgot to say, make sure to like and leave a comment. It really helps me out. But definitely enjoy your month.